Chapter 27. Bronwyn, Tuesday, November 6, 7:30 p.m. I'm not supposed to talk to Eli, so last night I texted Miss McCauley the link to the Tumblr post that Addie, Cooper, and I read all together. I told her what was great about it, and then I waited for a string long time until I got a text back from her after school. Thank you. I've informed Eli, but he asked that you don't involve yourself further. That's all. I just want to throw my phone across the room. I'll admit it. I spent most of last night fantasizing that Addie's bombshell would get nailed out of jail immediately. While I realized that was ridiculously naive, I still think it deserves more than a brush off. Even though I can't wrap my brain around what it means because Jake Riordan. If I had to pick the most random possible person to be involved with this, it still wouldn't have been him. And involved how exactly? Did he write the whole Tumblr or just someone post? Did he frame Nate? Did he kill Simon? Cooper shot that down almost immediately. He couldn't have. He said Monday night. Jake was at football practice when Addie called him. He might have left, I insisted, so Cooper called Lewis to confirm. Lewis says no, Cooper reported. Jake was leading passing drills the whole time. I'm not sure we can hinge an entire investigation on Lewis's memory, though. That boy killed a lot of brain cells over the years. He didn't even question why Cooper was asking. Now I'm in my room with Maeve and Addie putting dozens of colored post-its on our walls to summarize everything we know. It's very law and order, except none of it makes sense. Some phones in our backpack. Simon was poisoned during detention. Bronwyn, Nate, Cooper, and Addie, and Mr. Avery were in the room. The car accident distracted us. Jake wrote at least one Tumblr post. Jake and Simon were friends once. Leah hates Simon. Aiden Wu hates Simon. Simon had a thing for Keeley. Simon had a violent, loving alter ego online. Simon was depressed. Janae seems depressed. Janae and Simon stopped being friends? Question mark? Another's voice floats upstairs. Bronwyn, Cooper's here. Mom already loves Cooper. So much that she doesn't protest all of us getting together again, even though Robin's legal advice is to keep our distance from one another. Hey, Cooper says, not the least bit breathless from bounding up our stairs. I can't stay long, but I got some good news. Lewis thinks he might have found that car. His brother called a buddy at a repair place in Eastland, and they had a red Camaro come through with fender damage a few days after Simon died. I grabbed the license plate and phone number. He searches through his backpack and hands me a torn envelope with his number scrawled across the back. I guess you can pass that along to Eli, huh? Maybe there's something there. Thanks, I say graciously. Cooper runs his eyes over my wall. This helping? Addie sits back on her haunches with a frustrated noise. Not really. It's just a collection of random facts. Simon this, Janae that, Leah this, Jake that. Cooper frowns and crosses his arms, leaning forward for a better look at the wall. I don't get the Jake part at all. I can't believe he actually sit around and write that damn Tumblr. I think he just blabbed it to the wrong person or something. We tap a finger on a post-it with all of our names on it. And I keep wondering, why us? Why do we get dragged into this? Are we just collateral damage like Nate said? Or is there some specific reason we're a part of this? I tilt my head at him, curious. Like what? Cooper shrugs. I don't know. Take you and Leah. It's a small thing, but what if it's something like that started a domino effect? Or me and... He skins the wall and settles on a post-it. Aiden Wu, maybe. He got outed for cross-dressing, and I was hiding the fact that I'm gay. But that entry was changed, I remind him. I know, and that's weird too, isn't it? Why get rid of a perfectly good piece of gossip that's true and replace it with one that's not? I can't shake the feeling that this is personal, you know? The way that Tumblr kept everything going, egging people on about us, I wish I understood why. Addie tugs on one of her earrings, her hand trembles, and when she speaks, her voice does too. Things were pretty personal between me and Jake, I guess. And maybe he was jealous of you, Cooper, but Brian and Nate, why would he involve them? Collateral damage. We've all been affected, but Nate's gotten the worst of it by far. If Jake's to blame, that doesn't make sense, but then again, none of this does. I should go. Cooper says, I'm meeting Lewis. I manage to smile. Not Chris? Cooper returns a smile a little strained. We're still figuring things out. Anyway, let me know if the car stuff is helpful. He leaves and Maeve gets up, crossing over the spot near my bed that Cooper just vacated. She shovels posters on the wall, putting four of them into a square. Jake wrote at least one Tumblr post. Leah hates Simon. Aiden Wu hates Simon. Janae seems depressed. These are the most connected people. They either got reasons to hate Simon or we already know they're involved in some way. Some are pretty unlikely. She taps on Aiden's name. And some have big red flags against them. She points to Jake and Janae. But nothing's clear-cut. What are we missing? We all stare at the posters in silence. You can learn a lot about a person when you've had his license plate and phone number, his address, for example, and his name and where he goes to school. So if you wanted to, you could hang out in the parking lot of his school before it started and wait for his red Camaro to arrive. Theoretically. Or, actually, I meant to turn the numbers Cooper gave me over to Miss McCauley so she could pass them along to Eli, but I kept thinking about her text. I'm avoiding Eli, but he asked that you don't involve yourself further. Would Eli even take me seriously? He's the one who mentioned the car accident as suspicious. He's the one who first mentioned the car accident as suspicious, but he's spending all his time trying to keep Nate in the juvenile detention center. He might consider this nothing but a pesky distraction. Anyway, I'm just scoping things out. That's what I tell myself as I enter Eastland High's parking lot. They start classes 40 minutes before we do, so I can still get back to Bayview in plenty of time for the first bell. It's stuffy in the car, and I lower both front seat windows as I pull in an empty spot and turn the car off. Thing is, I need to be doing stuff. If I don't, I think about Nate too much. About where he is, about what he's going through, and the fact that he won't talk to me. I mean, I understand he has limited communications options, obviously, but they're not non-existent. I asked Miss McCauley if I could visit, and she told me Nate didn't want me there. Which stings. She thinks he wants to protect me, but I'm not so sure. He's pretty used to people giving up on him, and maybe he's decided to do it for me first. He decided to do it to me first. A flash of red catches my eye, and an ancient Camaro appears with a shiny fender parked a few spaces away from me. A short, dark-haired boy gets out and hauls a backpack from the passenger seat, looping one strap over his shoulder. I don't intend to say anything, but he glances my way as he walks by my window, and before I can stop myself and blurt out, "Hey!" He pauses, curious brown eyes meeting mine. "Hey, I know you. You're that girl from the Bayview investigation. Bronte, right?" Bronwyn. Since I've already blown my cover, might as well go all in. "What are you doing here?" He feels like he's waiting for a 90s grunge comeback in a flannel shirt over a Pearl Jam t-shirt. My eyes get her to his car. I should just ask, right? That's what I came for. But now that I'm actually talking to this boy, the whole thing seems ridiculous. What am I supposed to say? "Hey, what's the deal with your oddly timed car accident at a school you don't go to?" "Waiting for somebody." He wrinkles his brow at me. "You know people here?" "Yeah, sort of. I know about your recent car repair anyways. Everyone's been talking about you guys. Remember Case, huh? Kid who died. He's kind of weird, right? I mean, who even doesn't act like that? And all the stuff they said Mikhail Powers, random. He seems nervous. My brain chants, ask, ask, ask. But my mouth won't obey. "Well, see ya." "Wait!" My voice unsticks and he pauses. "Can I talk to you for a second?" We just were talking. "Right, but I have an actual question for you. The thing is, when I said I was waiting for somebody, I meant you. He's definitely nervous." "Why would you be waiting for me? You don't even know me." "'Cause of your car," I say. "I started getting into that accident in our parking lot the day Simon died." He's pale and blinks at me. Why do you think that was me?" "I saw your license plate." I lied. No need to sell out Lewis's brother. The thing is, the timing was weird, and now someone's been arrested for something I'm sure he didn't do. And I wondered, did you happen to see anything or anyone strange that day? It would help. My voice catches and tears prick my eyes. I blink them back and try to focus. "Anything you could tell me would help." He hesitates and steps back, looking towards the stream of kids funneling in the school. I wait for him to back away and join them, but instead he crosses to the other side of my car. He opens the passenger door and climbs in. I press a button to raise the windows and face him. "So," he runs a hand through his hair. "This is weird. I'm Sam, by the way. Sam Barron. Braun Rojas. But I guess you know that already." "Yeah. I've been watching the news and wondering if I should say something, but I didn't know if it meant anything. I still don't." He gives me a quick sideways glance as though checking for signs of alarm. "We didn't do anything wrong, like illegal for as far as I know." My spine tingles as I sit up straighter. Who's we?" "Me and my buddy. We had the accident on purpose. A guy paid $1,000 each to do it. Said it was a prank." "I mean, wouldn't you? Fender bender barely cost $500 to fix. The rest was pure profit." "Someone?" It's warm in the car with the windows up, and my hands gripping the steering wheel are slick with sweat. But I should turn the air conditioning on, but I can't move. "Who? Do you know his name?" I didn't, but did he have brown hair and blue eyes? I blurt out. "Yeah, Jake. He must have gone away from Lewis at some point. After all, was he?" Wait, I have a picture in here somewhere. I stay fumbling through my backpack for my phone. I'm sure I took a picture of his homecoming court in September. I don't need a picture. Sam says, I know who he is. Really? Like you know his name? My heart says beating so fast I can see my chest moving. Are you sure he gave you a real name? He didn't give me a name. I figured it out later when I saw the news. I remember those first few stories with Jake's class picture next to Addie. A lot of people thought it wasn't fair to show him, but I'm glad they did. I have the homecoming picture pulled up right now and I hand it to Sam. Him, right? Jake Riordan? He looks at my phone and shakes his head and hands it back to me. And hands it back. No, that's not him. It was someone a lot more closely involved with the whole thing. My heart's about to explode. If it wasn't Jake, there's only one other boy with dark hair and blue eyes involved in the case closely and involved in the investigation. Closely involved, no less. And that's Nate. No, please, God, no. Who? My voice isn't even a whisper. Sam blows out on sign, leans against the headrest. He's quiet for the longest second of my life until he says, It was Simon Kelleher.